What is up, players? It's WarbossTae back up in this mug. Welcome to my second stream of the night as we get ready to paint up some Death Core of Krieg. And we've got a squad here. We are going to be working on just getting them painted up and finished. They are about 60-70% done, so hopefully we can race to the finish line with them, and then I can get them ready to ship out to a customer. So whenever I do, well, before I start talking about what I'm doing here, let me just welcome you to the stream and remind everybody that I do have a Patreon and a coffee. Put that down on the bottom there. And you can find the information. If you'd like to support me, if you like my work, you can become a patron. If you do become a patron, then you will get access to all of my ebooks. And there's some different tiers, like I could write a character after you. I can, anyways, it's like more of my writing side of my media empire. And then if you want to support me on Coffee, then you can check out all of the artwork and stuff there that I have available. Or you can just send me a super chat here. That works also as well. If you're watching me on YouTube, if you're watching me on Twitch, then I am not monetized there just yet. So not anything there. But we're working on our Death Core of Krieg. Most of them are up to this point here. You can see I've got some metallics done on this guy, but we're basically going to be racing our way to the finish line by painting the metallics, then the gas mask, and then that is it, and then doing the base work, and yeah, and then doing the black Templar for the silver parts. So that's what I'm working on. Let me know what you're working on in the description. Would love to hear from you. It will make it will make getting through this painting session a lot easier. And let's get started. So I also wanted to talk about and remind everybody that we're doing our April painting challenge right now, and that is going in full swing. So you can support my channel by checking out the Discord and taking part. It's never too late to start. That's what I say. Like, anybody who's interested in taking part in the April painting challenge, but you're not, you didn't start on April 1st, that's totally fine. A little bit, zoom out. You're not too much. There we go, that's fine. We're gonna be assembly line painting, batch painting these guys. I actually have like another 40 in the can ready to go. They're at this level already, which is terrific. But I gotta finish painting them, put them up for sale on eBay. And this goes back to my philosophy on batch painting and army painting, is that you find a color scheme that you can replicate, have your colors always be the same to a certain level, and then branch out and do some different colors. So in my case, with the Death Core of Krieg, it's always Mornfang brown. I'm working from the bottom, right? Mornfang brown, then Xandri Dust for the leg wraps, and then Dryad Bark for the trousers, as well as the gloves. Then the coats are, I think I started at Dark Reaper, but you could also do the Fang, and then Rust Gray. So all of your Space Wolves colors, and then Fenrisian Gray, and then doing Mornfang again on the straps, as well as the backpack. For any of your backpacks that have the sleeping roll, then you paint that Xandri Dust. If not, you just keep going. We're basically working our way from the bottom to the top, leaving out certain parts of the miniature that we can come back to. Like the backpacks and the straps, I don't paint those until I've got the greatcoat painted, because otherwise it would be a lot harder to paint around. So you find the little cheat sheets, like cheat areas that you can hold off on whenever you're painting these Deathcore Krieg gas masks. I like to paint the entire face or like area around the eyes in silver here, like this, as that will help you when you go in with your Black Templar to clean that up. Okay, quick little step there. I'm gonna double check that I don't have my Black Templar nearby. If not, I'm gonna have to crack open one of these crates to find it. Find a lot of known oil, but I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for Black Templar. I'm very excited because I actually got a. I bought some paints the other day, and I'm very excited to use them. They're going to be for a Emperor's Children project. So I'm just lining up my paints. I gotta find my Black Templar contrast paint. So give me a second, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna crack open one of my paint boxes here. Frustrating. So I'm trying to find my Black Templar's contrast paint to get cracking into this next area, and it was about that time that I realized while I'm looking that I have just too much paint. This paint range is just, I have way too much paint. Thanks for your patience, everybody. I know this is like really exciting live streaming here, but I figured this is something we're all dealing with in some shape or another. Man, where is it? It would like be so funny if it's right in front of my face and I'm just not seeing it, and I have that just blind to it. Corvus Black, Incubated by Darkness, Rakeland Flesh Shade. My father-in-law said, you want to have all of your materials in place, like ready to go. And I'm a firm believer in that. actually so funny. Like I swear I just had it because I was using it for something. Maybe I wasn't just using it. Maybe it was a while ago, but feels like I was. All right, I'm gonna make do without it, guys. So the purpose of Black Templar, which is why I wanted to find it, and I'm sorry I had to drag you all along for that painful search through all of my stuff, is that when you paint Black Templar contrast paint over silver, like a lead belcher, what it does is cover it and give it the appearance of like a black armor, while having that metallic look underneath. So I painted some Iron Hands Dreadnoughts a while back, where you could really see that effect, and it looks beautiful. Like there's a little bit of a shimmer underneath the black, while overall keeping a very strong, solid black looking paint job. I think I can replicate it by, I don't know, maybe just watering down my black paint and painting it over the silver. It's not going to be the same, but I'm going to have to make do with that, because I have to get this squad painted. So yeah, going back to batch painting, a lot of it is the discipline of grinding out the colors, and the way that I get through that is I don't think about the individual miniature that I'm painting for too long. I want to have my hands going on autopilot and just recognizing where do the colors land. Okay, then I can kind of put my brain on autopilot while I think about other things. So in this case, I can think ahead to the next step that I'm going to be working on, or I can think about something else in the hobby, like my other projects. It's just nice to be able to, sometimes I paint just to clear my head as like a mental refocusing thing, and that's really helpful to me. Being a father and feeling like I'm losing my mind most of the day, it's nice to be able to get some time to just sit at the painting table. That's what this April painting challenge is all about too. Grinding out the time at your table, like whether or not you actually sit and paint, work on a project or something that's been sitting in your pile of potential for very long. If you're interested in joining the April Painting Challenge, all of the rules and everything are in my Discord. And we're gonna go until in the background you hear my babies start screaming their heads off in bed. Like that. Oh boy, this might be a short stream, with most of it having had to do with the looking for my Black Templar paint. So my lady boss is in bed. She's gonna try to quiet them down. If she cannot, then she will call for me, and then I will have to abscond to the bedroom. Now the good thing is that they've been, as they're getting older, the twins are getting a little bit better at staying in bed the whole night. They don't wake up as frequently. I remember my son, when he was growing up, he would wake up like every 2 hours. It would be impossible to keep him in bed. It was wild. It was a very rough couple of months while we tried to figure out how to handle that. And then now with the girls, it's a little easier. All right, so I'm hitting each model. When I start each new model, I start with the gun. It's the biggest area of silver. If I can reach the little box, rebreather box inside his, right on his torso armor, I'll do that. Then I'll move to the helmet. Just kind of working my way around the model. Then shoulder pads. Then canister. My hand is starting to cramp. I should be using my painting handle, but I'm just kind of like blitzing through these, so I don't want to waste my time. A couple of seconds to get them in and out of the painting handle. Let's see if that makes it any better. Gun. Oh, also, I had been talking to, I think Marshy on the Discord had mentioned this, how he likes to go back and fix any mistakes, and it kind of slows down his batch painting. So I say, Marshy, you know what, just skip the cleanup step if you can. Like, it's gonna sit there, it's gonna look like, it might bug you for a little bit. I know it does to me sometimes. I started this hobby as a perfectionist, and now I'm just a completionist. Like, I want to get it all completely painted and ready to go as quickly as possible. So whereas normally I would go back and fix a mistake, now I leave it until after the washes phase, or kind of when I'm in the highlighting phase. Then I'll go back and touch up any mistakes that are pretty bad. There are a lot of mistakes too that I just kind of leave. It used to bother me, but now I'm not as concerned with things that are left unpainted or with a mistake on it, as I'm more concerned with just getting to the finish line. You know what? I wonder if my chat is, did I mess up on the chat? I thought maybe I'm just rambling to myself and people are typing into the chat and I'm just not getting it, but maybe nobody's just talking, or just nobody is saying anything. That's why every time I look to the chat log, it's empty, which is cool too. I don't mind rambling to myself. Having people to chat with is certainly nice, but not necessary. I think it's more a question of holding myself accountable by painting online like this, painting on a stream. Also, it helps me to get my numbers in for Twitch. If I can get more subscribers, more time logged, more days logged, and more people watching, then I will be able to monetize my Twitch channel. That would be pretty cool. Another way to earn some income to support this wonderful hobby. All right, we're blasting through these. That's great. With these Forgeworld Deathcore, one of the biggest issues they used to have when they sold these was the droopy rifle barrel. They seem to have fixed that with the release of the plastic. Of course, plastic is a way better, easier material to work with than resin, but it's just not the same. Better is subjective, of course, but it's easier to warp resin than it is plastic. That's why some of these rifle barrels are so droopy. And the chain swords are bent, and you have to fix them, so you don't go marching to battle with a droopy rifle. All right, consistency. Painting every day, getting those reps in at the table. That's what it's all about. Right. One of the things that's so iconic about the Deathcore is the gas masks, and I feel like the new Deathcore Krieg miniatures, the plastic ones, they don't look the same. Like they have a little bit of a skull motif design on the front, and yeah, it feels different. I actually purchased a kit of Death Riders because I needed the transfer sheet so that I could write the unit numbers on these guys' shoulder pads, and so I could also get the transfer sheet, or the transfer for the Krieg, the word Krieg, to put onto the sergeant, or the watchmaster as they're called, their chainsword. So it's funny, I bought an entire like $65 unit just so I could get a couple transfers. So if you're feeling the strain of painting, batch painting, you feel like your brain is melting and you're not enjoying yourself anymore, then I always like to switch it up. I say, well, if something is taking you a long time, like these jackets took me a long time, the great coats, right? So I wanted to take a break from painting and then layering and highlighting. It was 60 at the time. I was doing 60 of these guys and my brain was just getting fried. Then what I did was I switched over and I did something different that would take a very short amount of time. So in this case, I think I went from doing one of the layers of the greatcoats to painting up the all of the sleeping rolls on the backpack, something that didn't take very long at all. I'm using Deathcore drab for the last pistol casing, as well as the chain sword casing. All right, now is my favorite part of painting Deathcore. It's the gas mask. So for this, I'm going to be using Steel Legion drab. So funny. The paint's called Steel Legion, and it is being used on some Deathcore. In my latest April Painting Challenge update on YouTube, I talk about how my favorite painting tool is Microsol and Microset. I think though, I might have gotten it wrong. Maybe my favorite painting tool is this painting handle, because it allows me to really whip through these miniatures, flip them upside down, get them at just the right angle I need them to be at. Take the strain off my hand. Oh, you know what is also Steel Legion drab that I need to go back and paint? The rifle stock. Look at that. Doesn't it just complete the look of the of the Deathcore Kriegsmen when they get their gas masks painted? I still have to do the gold for the rebreather seal right there, but let's get this stock painted. I also have to see. Every time I film one of these, I do a live stream. It's always a process of me relearning, oh, where's the camera again? Where is the blind spot that I shouldn't be? Because as much as this is something I'm working on, I also want to make the stream worthwhile for you guys. I value your time, and I want you to be able to see everything I'm working on. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. 4. Put the rest of these guys over here. Just gonna go commando with these guys. Let me know what you guys like to collect. Like the Death Corps of Krieg is such a niche army. We made it more mainstream now by getting it into the Warhammer 40k assembly line. But what do you all like to paint and collect, that you consider, you know, like your collector's army. For me, it was Vestroyan for a long time. Those Vestroyan Firstborn have such beautiful metal models. They're just terrific. I love painting them. Like resin is nice. Resin is better than plastic. When I paint plastic, sometimes I feel like I'm just painting toys. You know, resin, because it's more expensive. Forgeworld stuff is generally more expensive, more valuable. I feel like I'm painting pieces of art. And when Games Workshop used to have their metal models, painting a metal model in your hand, like feeling the weight of that, is really like painting a piece of art. Okay, last guy, here we go. Assembly line, baby. Right, now I'm gonna go back. Each Death Korps Krieg Trooper has, under their helmet, behind their gas mask, some helmet straps. And to differentiate those and make them stand out from the gas mask, which is Steel Legion Drab, I like to paint them in Mournfang Brown. So some of these I actually did paint. I'm just gonna go down the line and catch the ones like right here on the corner of his helmet. Then underneath. Some of them have their straps buckled. Some of them don't. Like this guy, his strap is not buckled. You see it's just kind of flapping, hanging open on both ends. Painting Death Korps. All right. Leo Twitch person, hello. We meet again in the fields of streaming, or the streams of fielding. Oh, I forgot your gas mask. His gas mask is a little bit more red, closer to Mournfang Brown. Lead Belcher. The twins are sleeping well. They woke up a couple times earlier. They complained, they screamed a little bit, and the lady boss was able to get them back down to sleep. Okay, what are we doing next? I'm so bummed I cannot find my Black Templar paint. I'm working through a workaround right now. I think it's gotta be just my thinned down acrylic black paint. I think known oil is not dark enough. Oh. Yeah, I think that's what we gotta do. So I'm gonna be taking this Mars Black cheapo acrylic paint and putting it onto my wet palette and really diluting it. Like, I want it to be the consistency of the contrast paint, Black Templar. Because now my plan is to darken down all of the silver. But still have the undertone of the metallic. Okay, so that's okay. Just made my own contrast paint. Just don't want to have any kind of streaking. Looks like there's some, like, you could really see the streaks if you don't brush it on a certain way. Okay, I think I was gonna talk about doing this when I had thought I had Black Templar paint, but when I paint my Death Korps Krieg, I will paint the helmet, then inside the eye lens, oops, while trying to keep that silver rim for the gas mask. Then the shoulder pads here. Yeah, I think this time I diluted it. Oh boy, a little too much. And then the silver on the back of the gloves. And that's it. So basically just all of the armor. All right, Leo, what did you say? I thought I had lost my Pallid Witch Flesh in the last move last year, but it turned this year in the box it was supposed to be in. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I could have sworn I had my Black Templar. Like, I could have sworn it was on the table, but I think maybe I'm thinking of when I was here last at my in-laws' place, and now I boxed it away, and now I can't find it. All right, a little bit of Retributor armor. All is right in the world. So that's what I'm going to be doing for this next step of my this week. Oh, this week. You moved this week? Wow. I'll be doing all the black armor and then the gold, I guess. This is also going to be when I'm going to be fixing up some uniforms. You made a move this week and you're streaming and going online. You wild man. I'm actually helping my in-laws move this week. So I'm going to be broadcasting from a whole new place next week, and we'll see how that goes. Of last year I found the paints this week. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Last year, so that means you must have all of your moving boxes mostly unpacked. Yeah. as being sarcastic. I swear, man, one time we made a move, the lady boss and I, we moved from one place to another, and I don't think we ever unpacked like a couple boxes of old stuff. And then one day we're just like, did we lose this thing? And then we went looking through all of the boxes we hadn't unpacked yet, and I was like, oh, it's right there. Maybe we should unpack all of our moving boxes. And then we laughed and laughed. Right, I wanted to do the gold, but I think the gold has to wait until all of the black paint dries. So let's do this ghetto contrast paint step, get it all done. I've decided that my favorite number to batch paint is 10. It's just enough models to where you could see the progress without your brain getting blasted by having to paint. Like these guys are from a lot that I had purchased of 60 resin deathcore guys. And I was like, I'm just gonna paint 60 deathcore guys. What's the big problem? The big problem is that the human brain can only handle so much deathcore of Krieg. Or with anything. Like I remember when I was still living in Hawaii, I filmed a video called like I'm gonna paint 100 night goblins or something like that. Assembly line batch painting for dummies. And I think that that experience nearly broke me. Me and Leo hanging out. Every once in a while, I take a look at my viewer numbers at the top of the screen, and I'm like, oh, just one guy from Twitch. That's got to be Leo. Haley, I wanted to ask if you're still around. What's that Alice in Wonderland box that you're painting up, or all those minis you're painting up? What's the name of that again? Something in Wonderland. I want to look it up, see if I could find it on Amazon. I might be interested in getting a set just to have something to paint up as like a palette cleanser after this project gets wrapped up. Wait, if the automated live message in your server had and at everyone. Wonderland's War, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Every time I see it, I want to make note of the name, but I never have. I'm never able to. So I'm gonna write it down on my handy dandy notepad next to me. See if I can find it. Yeah, I was thinking about doing an at everyone, but I figure like it's not something that everyone needs to know about that I'm doing. I think if you want to see my live streams, then I got to remind everybody, like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications every time I do a live stream. That's what I got to do just over and over. I don't want to bother anybody with that all-important at everyone. It's like, what is it? What's going on? What's so important? Oh, Tae's just live streaming. No fire. Yeah, this is actually, this might be better than my Black Templar. Like, it's going on pretty well. I figured out how to control the paint flow off of my brush for it, so it's not streaking as much as it did. And you can still see that metallic underneath. I think I would have an even better effect if the metallic paint I used as their helmets before I painted this on was a brighter color, like Runefang Steel, where you could really see that pigment, that bright silver pigment through the black. But it's okay. I think it's still getting the effect that I want. I used to paint my Death Korps of Krieg where I would paint all of this stuff black and not silver, and then I would just like do a chipping effect on the ends. But I think this is a much smoother and cleaner way to do it. I'm not sure if the minis were Kickstarter exclusive. Oh, okay. You can create a Discord role and add that. Oh yeah, that's true. If anybody's interested in being alerted for the live streams. That's a good point. Yeah, then say, hey, if you want to see my live streams, just assign yourself this role. All right, now I can get on to the gold. Got my pen. Where's my notebook? Wonderland War. All right. Let's give that black contrast paint a second to dry. I wanted to take a look at this box here, the Astra Militarum Death Riders. So I'll do an actual unboxing. I haven't watched any unboxing videos. You know what's crazy? Could it just be the amount of kits and sets and models that Games Workshop is coming out with? But I feel like there's a lot that people just miss with all of the influencers and the people getting miniatures and stuff. I feel like a lot of stuff goes under the radar now. Everything is coming out so fast. I don't know. That could just be me. So let's see on the instructions. We've got the iconic Death Riders with the spears. I think that's the way to go. I saw the alternate build was to have them with swords. Oh, let's see. How hard is it going to be to build these guys? You can have the option of doing the spear, the power sword, or the rifle. Like the old Death Korps of Krieg, the Resin Forgeworld ones, they were so iconic. The horses were like at rest and they were all just sitting there in their horses with their spears raised, ready for action, ready to go at a moment's notice. This, I don't know if I'm a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. I am not a fan of that. Looks like he's it looks like he's about to roll some dice rather than do a weird spear move there. Man, that does not look fun. Let's see how complicated these are to build. Are they Bretonnian battle standard bearer levels of ridiculousness? you got the two halves and then the centerpiece. Okay, I guess that's not so bad. The horse head comes with ears separate. Then, uh-oh. Anytime I see reins, I get uncomfortable. On the Bretonnians, they don't look good. They don't feel good on the newer models. On the cities of Sigmar, they definitely don't feel good to put together. So these look a little bit more manageable, I guess. Death Rider Sergeant. Oh, he's a sergeant. I'm gonna have his rifle slung over his left arm like that as he fires. Yeah, I mean, I look at this and it's all just like a big headache, but I guess that's the way it was with Forgeworld stuff. Like Forgeworld resin kits, sometimes their instructions were just like labels. They didn't show you how things put together, where they went. So I guess this is an improvement. But I don't know. I like them with spears. I think spears are the classic look for them. Like that just looks really, really cool. They highlighted the feet as a weapon. That's great. Okay, and then you've got the Krieg transfer sheet here. So this is what I need for my my infantry squad here. I don't know why they would have transfers in black. Like all of the Krieg I've seen have dark armor plates so that you could have the white numbers really stand out against them. I don't know. Okay. Now let's take a look at the actual models. The grenade spear really seems like something the orcs would make. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, like these look good. I mean, they look detailed. They look fine. I like that you get a lot of extra bits that you could put on to different things you could use on different models. I think also the good thing about these kits is that whatever you don't use, you get to keep in your bits box. Reins. I see this and it makes reins make me cringe. Anytime I see like reins that need to be put in a certain way or else they're not going to fit, that like all of this makes me it gives me the ick, as the kids would say. Like, oh, ugh, gross. Interesting, these las guns. But yeah, you know what I mean? These masks, they look so different from the old school Death Corps of Krieg gas masks. The ones I have right in front of me. Like they've got like a little like studs over their nose or something. What is that? Like the old school gas masks make them look like anteaters, like weird alien anteaters. I love that. They're just cloth gas mask. Alternate color schemes. Krieg come in many flavors depending on the regiment, unit, and terrain they're deployed on. Yeah, that's true. Alternate color schemes. I think I've seen one that's like a drab, like brown coats, and then like a greenish armor. So like kind of like US in World War II. Brown and green khaki and olive drab. But I don't know, like to use black. Yeah, I guess to use black transfers, you would want the armor plates to be lighter. I guess that could work. Because when I think of olive drab green shoulder pads, I think of the Cadians. Cadians use white transfers, so look at that, we're almost at an hour. All right. Step aside, step aside. Everybody step aside. Yeah, they look good. I like the deep black eye lenses with the silver rims. It makes them look very very much like aliens. I also like too how usually they do this in the Solar Auxilia, even though the majority of the miniatures have, like, you can't see their faces. In the Solar Auxilia range, they all have these like deep sea diver helmets, old school Nautica Bioshock helmets. But they have a couple characters like in their command squad or their surgeon miniature that have their faces out. With the Death Korps of Krieg, like I don't think there's a single official Death Korps of Krieg miniature that is without their gas mask. And I think that's great. I love how they're not at all humanized in the miniature form anyways. And I think their whole shtick too is they're dehumanized, right? They don't consider themselves as individuals, just as numbers. And their whole repentance thing, because I think Krieg was like a traitor planet, and then so now they're trying to they're like repentant for their ancestors' betrayal, so they all consider themselves dead men walking. Yeah, look at this. It's a great feeling when you're just churning through the steps. You do one or two things and then you bounce to the next model. Oh man, I forgot to do the canisters. Okay, everybody turn around. Let me see your canisters. I just wrapped up my Night Lord's commission that I've been working on, and it's nice to see that one get finished up. Every paint job, it's nice. I started doing this thing where I put myself at the end of the painting mentally, like when I get to sit down, I've started saying things like, I'm so glad, I'm so pleased with how this project turned out. And how nice the finished paint job is. You just say little things like that, little things to trick your mind into feeling good about working. Because I think if you sat down and you said, man, this job is taking forever. This commission is taking me forever. I'm never gonna finish these models. I hate painting these models. It really like sets yourself up. It makes you feel defeated. So what I'm all about this season is getting in the proper mind frame, having a good time, enjoying the process and the journey. Like I'm getting there. I think I'm almost done with all this right now. I think I'm there. I think I'm just about there. Is there anything else I'm missing? I think I can get to the basing. Yeah, I think we'll do basing, then transfers, then finish with the rims. Actually, you know what we should do is get some Agrax Earthshade onto their leg wraps. That will help give that some depth and be better to look at. Oh yeah. We are plowing our way through. All right, almost done. All right, that was fun. Now let's get on to the basing. For all of my Krieg, I like to base with AK Terrain's Muddy Ground. You know, it's funny, I was at the hobby store today and I saw a texture paste tool, like a little paddle, and I thought to myself, maybe I should get that. And I looked at the price tag, I was like, maybe I'm not gonna get that. But now I regret not getting that. Okay. My stuff is getting kind of hard. Like it's hardening. I wonder if there's any way to make it more like workable again. I hope it stays workable by the time I get to the end, because I would hate to lose any of this. This is such good stuff to work with when you're doing like a muddy texture for base work. The only thing is when it gets like hard like this, then it's it's trickier to apply. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is get a paintbrush that I don't care about, because I don't think I can do it with this paddle. I think I'm gonna need to get like a wet paintbrush and just go at it. That's what I need to do. I need to make like a cup that only holds, you know how you have your cup, your paintbrush cup, and you just pick and choose whatever you're gonna be using. I need a cup of brushes that are like specifically for stuff like this. Stuff I don't care about anymore. Can add a bit of water and stir. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Yes, sir. I think not to the whole. I don't know if I should add water to the whole thing here. I don't want to create some crazy chemical reaction that I can't reverse. But definitely to each model's base. That's what I'm gonna do. I like that when they're running like this, it gives you a chance to like use the base stuff, the basing material, to use the technical term, on their boots. You know what I mean? Like the bottom of their boots. They didn't just teleport into a muddy battlefield. They were running around. So you could even cover the top of their boots if you wanted, but I like to definitely cover the soles like that. Give a, oh, I'm not even in frame. Igor. Yes, master. I need you to keep my miniatures in frame, Igor. Of course, master. Yeah, I'm having a hard time like even digging it out. All right, you're in the junky pile now. You're in the junk brush pile now. I've condemned you. I've sentenced you. There we go. Just have to repeat this 9 more times. Take a portion into a plastic cup and stir it there to save time. Yep, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. That's a great... Leo, you're so smart. Do I have a smaller... I've got to have a smaller cup than this. I guess not. The thing is, I don't need too much, so I don't want to take too much. But yeah, that'll also let me close it back up. Okay, hopefully that's enough. Ew. Too much water. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And you know what? I'm going to drain the excess water. Ew. Science. It's fantastic. Okay. I love all the texture too. I saw somebody who actually used this stuff onto like put it on a Death Guard Space Marine, Chaos Space Marine, just to give it some grit. All right. Let's test it out. too much. Perfect, Leo. It looks like muddy ground again. Eee. Modern problems require modern solutions. Thanks, Leo. That's really good. This is actually a cup that had some noodles and broth from a local Chinese food store, Chinese restaurant. I just like wash them off, and we order for the whole family, right? So there's like all these, I got all these extra cups. I'm actually like, I made a pretty sizable purchase from Green Stuff World shop on eBay. So I've got a lot of cool tools coming in the next couple of weeks. I can't wait to talk about and do videos on. Like I've got some candles and some UV resin and the UV flashlight. I can't wait to put on some word bearers or some Black Templar. Six, only 4 more. It's always tricky to get, you just want a little bit of height off of the base. So it doesn't look like you just painted the base brown. Need just a little bit of height. So, oh, I missed this guy's shoulder pad. Wait. There you go. I've been really interested lately in doing more realism with my miniatures. Not having them be so cartoony and like, oops, like the box art. You know, the official Games Workshop box art is oftentimes pretty bright and vibrant. They're trying to sell these products, give them these beautiful, clean paint jobs, and I think I'm at the point in my life where I think it would look cooler if the models were a little bit more lore accurate, if they looked like they were fighting in an active war zone, if the Black Templars did have like chains, like jewelry chain, but like chains around their arms and candles, dripping wax, and long purity seals and stuff like that. I saw a guy doing purity seals from cheesecloth. In fact, most of the stuff I'm watching now is from, it's called the Grimdark Compendium. On YouTube, they have their own website. The Feral Painter, who I follow for a lot of things, he paints and he teaches for them a lot, or he does like a lot of video tutorials for them. They're the makers of the enamel sets that I've started using, called Villainy Ink. And yeah, it's just a great style that I think I'm gravitating more towards as I get older. Like dirty, almost like John Blanche artwork. Dirty and grungy and more like grim dark. All right, that's enough. That's enough hypothesizing. I think I used just about all of the paste that I had pulled, which is perfect, because looking at it, everything looks good, level. Everyone's painted to the point where I want it to be. So what I'm going to do now is, while that dries, I'm going to get to work on the transfers. There's another guy with the shoulder pad not painted. Go. I think, man, both of my paint cups are pretty gross looking right now, so I'm gonna have to dump these at the end of my session. Ah, man, I'm so happy. I'm so proud of getting to this point. After, how much has it been? 1 hour and 20 minutes. Look at that. All right, so while that nasty basing stuff dries, we're going to move on to the transfers. All right, so it looks like they're in columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just going to cut them all out. Then we'll get an Aquila as well as a Krieg for the chainsword. Yeah, let's go with the second. It's interesting, these winged skulls here. Set that aside. And then a Krieg. All right. Plan. Perfect plan. What's that? 6 P's? Perfect planning prevents piss poor performance. My micro set. Let's do Krieg on this side. And then an Aquila on the other side. Or not an Aquila, the winged skull. Just press down so that all of that microsol or microset underneath the transfer comes out the side. Just press it down and push. I'm actually gonna angle it a little bit more towards the base. Gotta make it straight. There. Krieg. The other side is going to be this winged skull. Sirkin. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Sirkin. Said this before, but I feel like applying transfers is a lot like that old game, Operation. You gotta be careful, or else if you touch the sides, you're gonna get zapped. I wonder with this one if I should move the winged skull further up. Yeah, I think so. Let's move it further up. I like that. Krieg. Maybe down towards the front, the bottom. With a little bit of space between the transfer and then the base of the chainsword there. And then on this side, we'll have the winged skull be more like equidistant from the top to the bottom. You know what I wish I had? I wish I had like a pair of scissors. I don't trust myself. Oh, you know what though? I bought a new pair, or a new bunch of hobby blades. Rather just one hobby blade, but it comes with extra knives. But why not we use this is an army painter hobby knife. It's different than all of the little X-Acto blades. These are like the the administratum, like the munitorum, and then this is more of like a artificer weapon. I feel like it's just so much more fancy. All right, blade. Let's see how you cut. Boom, 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 boom. So sharp. So good. Worth every penny. Army Painter's got some good stuff. Some of their brushes fray a little too quickly for my taste, but this is great. Look at that. Oh man, it would have taken me so long. I would have been stressing with my other knife. Army Painter hobby knife. Good thing, good tool to have in your repertoire. All right. Okay. We're getting down to the end, guys. This is just transfer work and then painting the rim of the bases black, and that's it. Then we can call it a day on this one. Like literally we can call it day because I hear birds chirping outside. Oh boy, oh boy. Operation. So another thing, something that I really hate about having only so many transfers is that if you screw up, you're really out of luck. You know what I mean? If you time it wrong, if you get the transfer on at a strange angle and you try to turn it around and your brushes catch, your bristles catch, I mean, on the transfer, what might happen is that the transfer folds in on itself. So let's all cross our fingers and hope for the best. feel like, okay, so reviewing this, the quality of these transfers. Games Workshop's and Forgeworld transfers are like so different. The Forgeworld transfer sheets take so long for the transfers to lift off of the backing paper. Oh, the baby's crying. I'm so close. If I have to wrap up this stream, I'll still be pretty happy. Oh, I hear my lady boss calling. Well, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for checking out the stream, and we'll see you in the next one.